In several ways, it's been an overwhelming week. It seems that the more we learn, the more we realize the scope, just the largeness of the task in front of us.
You know, I think more than anything else, what struck me thus far is just the fact that so many of the whatever skills or abilities that I've tried to develop through the years, really many of them don't apply to the mission we're about to do, and it's causing me to truly depend upon God and look to God.
We've been able to sit down with strategy coordinators from the IMB to talk about what we're going to do next week when we get there, and I feel like I could speak for the group and say we're very excited. Whenever we've spoken with the coordinators, these are men who have done this over and over and over, but they're talking about us taking the gospel to an area, and they go to a very Acts sense in what we would think. That whenever we go in there next week, when we start, we'll just be praying for people. We'll go and we'll meet the heads of the villages, we'll be praying for people and praying for God to do miraculous things.
And today, we were blessed to be able to just have a day of rest. Several of us went zip lining, the world's longest zip line course, and that was really restful and joyful for us. And several stayed back here and just enjoyed a day of peace and calm and working on things. And God was so kind to us today to where we were able to just have a day to ourselves.
One of the things that I got to participate in that they did not was to go down to the red light district here in Chiang Mai. And I can only let you know that there are things that I saw that night that were horrifying. Women are treated in such foul ways, and things that I should never have seen nor should go on in this earth are going on here. Ways that you can pray is just pray that God would continue to pour out His love on this area. You can pray for a ministry called Heart Weavers, who goes in weekly to the red light district and spends time every night with these women, praying for them, sharing the love of Jesus, and more than anything, going through the entire gospel so that they have an opportunity to invite Him into their life.
Thailand is a beautiful country. It's full of beautiful people, but the lostness here is oppressive. In the evenings, as we've gotten out and walked to go to dinner or gone to night bazaars, you just feel an overwhelming, pressing darkness. And man, I ask that you guys just join us in praying for God's work in the hearts of the Thai people, that they would see the glory of Christ, and that they would repent and place their faith and trust in Jesus and be saved and be delivered from this darkness.
You know, even more than the week that we spent in training, it's been a better part of a 2-year process getting to this place, and then I guess this is actually day 11 or 12 of our travel, and you know, all of those things until yesterday morning, theory. You know, we're looking at pictures, we're looking at maps, we're looking at data picked up from other agencies, New Tribes, and Wycliffe, and just a few little things that we knew about with this task of trying to engage these guys. And you know, to be honest, none of those things can really prepare you for that first moment, for what it feels like to actually drive into that village, walk into what was for us a little store, trying to be low-key, ordering some drinks, actually these little strawberry Slurpee things with ice cream and Jello in them, which sounds kind of nasty, but tasted really good. Woman named Simone, very first Nya person for us to meet, and you know, just sat down, all smiles, and we're using a guy named Tony as a translator this week, and just, you know, one of the things we've been praying for is, you know, God, help us to love these people, help us to like these people, help us to have a heart connection that won't have to be made up, or, you know, we're having to force ourselves to want to come back or to make the necessary sacrifices. And just immediately You know, it is said of the Thai people that they're the land of smiles, and it's 100% true. I mean, they have every person, even the people that maybe are not feeling well, a little perturbed, not so understanding of who you are, smiling, welcoming, receiving, so eager to get into a conversation. Just they make you really want to be here.
We are in our last night here with our people group, or at least in the area where they're from, and we're making these videos, and I'm trying to figure out what is the one thing that God has taught me the most. And as most of you know, service is kind of where I feel like my calling is, and that we're to serve one another. And I've kind of been stripped of that on this trip. This Unreached People group, it's been a lot of evangelism, and to just be honest with you, that makes me nervous. I don't feel like I do a good job of that. I would rather meet a need and then for you to ask me why, and for me to be able to tell you that I love you because Christ loves you and that He sent me here to love you. And I've not been able to do that on this trip. I really had to rely on Him. And one of the things we learned in training was His command for His disciples. It's incredible and hard all at the same time. It's easy for us to want to do something with our hands. It's easy for us to love children. And I'm not saying you can't do that. We need you to do that. And if you come here, I want you to do that. But what God's teaching me, and what I pray He'll teach you through this experience, is that at the end of the day, we have Him. And that's all that matters.